What's up everybody, this is Memory Code. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 simple steps you can take to clean up your mixes. Let's get into it. Alright, so for this quick tip, I'm going to be using the Ableton Utility to reference and clean up the sides of my mix. And by the sides, I just mean the far right and the far left of the stereo image. So yeah, just getting right into it. For step 1, I'm going to just go to my audio effects and then to utilities, and then hit the utility drop down and grab that sides only preset. And I'm going to drag that right onto my master channel. And I would recommend putting that after any other processing effects that you have on there. And actually I'm going to turn that off real quick and I'll just play a little bit of this beat so you can hear what I'm working with. Alright, and for step 2, I'm going to turn that sides only back on, and I'm going to go to my sample channel and solo it. And this is a pretty simple beat. All it has is drums, a bass line, and this chopped up sample. So yeah, I'll be able to go through the process really quickly for the video. So yeah, I'm going to just solo that and then play it, and I'll be able to hear what's happening in the sides of this sample. Alright, so you can hear there's kind of a lot of low mid content in the sides, especially on this chop right here. And if you have too much lows and low mids in your sides, it can make the mix feel muddy and cluttered. So there's a really quick solution to that. And so that's going to bring me to step 3. And so for step 3, I'm going to just go back to the utility drop down and use this bass mono preset. And you can see I already have that set up on the channel. So I'm going to turn that on and go down here. And in this bass mono section, I have it set to 500 Hertz. So that means everything from 500 and below is going to be in mono. And that means everything from 500 and below won't be in the sides. So now with that on, I'll play the sample again. Alright, and I'll turn that off and play it one more time. And with it on. So you can hear it really gets those low mids out of the sides. And so now I'll just go back to the master channel and turn this sides only off. And then I'll play the whole beat now with the drums and everything so you can hear what it sounds like. And here's what it sounds like without that bass mono. And one more time with. So you can hear with that utility turned on, it just feels a little bit more polished, a little bit more controlled, and just it feels like it's just mixed better. And also the drums and the bass fit a little bit better with it. It makes a little bit more room just for it to sound like a finished beat. So yeah, for when I'm making instrumentals like this, I like to keep them as open and uncluttered as possible. So when an MC hears it, they can hear that there's room for their voice and then hopefully be more inspired to write to it. And I just want to say that this is definitely not a magic bullet just for instantly getting a better mix. You still need to EQ and compress if the sounds need it. And you can see on this sample channel, I'm EQing out the lows, and I also have a few other harsh and resonant frequencies notched out. And I'm also using multiband compression. And then at the end of the effects chain, I have extra compression with the glue compressor. But it still wasn't enough to get it to where I wanted it to be. So yeah, just using that utility with the bass mono was what it took to get it to that next level. And it's such a simple step too, but it really goes a long way. So yeah, that's the process. And I would recommend doing this to any channel you have that has harmonic and melodic content. Like do it to like pads, anything that's playing chords, anything that's playing a lead, any other sample layers that you have. And I would recommend doing it to each one and experiment with different frequencies for the bass mono setting. Some sounds you might want this to be a little bit lower, and some sounds you might want it to be higher. So yeah, experiment with that. And then if you don't have time or if you don't feel like doing that, a really quick solution is just putting one of those bass monos right on your master channel. And I would recommend putting that before any last compression or limiting that you have happening. And then you can just set this. If you're going to do that, I would recommend setting it at 2 or 300. So yeah, that's the quick way to do it, but the downside is that it gives you a little bit less control as far as shaping the stereo image of your track. Alright, so just for a quick recap, for step 1, drag the utility sides only preset to your master channel. For step 2, just solo each of the individual channels of your beat and listen to what's going on in the sides. And for step 3, if you hear any lows or low mids in the sides, just use the utility bass mono preset to control that and get it out. And remember to experiment with different settings down here in the bass mono section and just figure out what works the best for that sound and for your beat. Alright, thanks a lot for checking out the video. I hope it was helpful, and hit me in the comments if you have any questions. If you want any more information about funk and soul drum breaks and drum theory, check out my book, The Breakbeat Bible. I got a link in the description for that. I'm available for one-on-one music production and beat making lessons, and also stay tuned for the launch of my Patreon page. I'll put a link in the description once that's up. Thanks a lot for checking this out. Peace and much love.
Memory code. Memory code.